Welcome back, guys, to the YouTube channel. Today is my Chili Bowl predictions, basically how the week's going to roll down for my vlogs, and basically any of the info that you need to know. Alright guys, well, it's that time of year. It's January, it's a brand new year. It's time to start the biggest, or at least for me, the biggest event of the year, the Chili Bowl. I'm super excited this year, and I think because a few drivers coming back, you know, you got Christopher Bell coming back after 4 years or 3 years, which is crazy. Kyle Larson coming back for this year, even though he was there last year. It was kind of conflicting with the Wild West, and so I think this year is going to be a big year for the Chili Bowl. I think we're going to see a lot of racing. It's gone from 55 laps to 40 laps. So last year, those kind of last like 10 to 15 laps were kind of just boring, rubber down the bottom. That's going to eliminate that this year, I think. And I mean, as we saw in that non-wing Outlaw A, I think it's going to be a really good year. I think it's going to be a very exciting race. I think the entire week's going to be very grueling in the fact that you got to fight for your way to win every single night through, you know, your heat race, your qualifier, your features, your, you know, then if you win and lock in, you got to go through the qualifying, and then you got to start up front, and then, you know, if you aren't starting up front, you got to work your way through. But basically, we're going to go through the prediction winner, or my predictions for the week. They just dropped the prelim night kind of like front runners. So let's get into the predictions. You're going to hear each prelim night prediction plus my second place, because second place, of course, locks in. And, of course, your 39th annual Chili Bowl champion. All right, so for Monday night, we have Kyle Larson is, of course, in it. And then we have Kenny McIntosh and Tanner Carrick. For me, it's going to come as a surprise. I'm going to put Tanner Carrick as my first lock-in. Here's the reason. I think he's going to win Monday night. And I think he's going to win Monday night, and I think over this guy, which is going to be Kyle Larson. I think Kyle Larson is going to be my second lock-in. Here's my reasoning. Kyle Larson has not been at the Chili Bowl the past couple of years for the whole week. Last year, he was there on a surprise bid. Tanner Carrick has won 2022 and 2024 last year. Ken McIntosh won some of those other years. I think he's going to get third or second. He can really, him and Kyle Larson are kind of my flip-flop right now. It's tough to pick between the two of them. But I think Tanner Carrick and Kyle Larson are the two lock-ins. I think those two are set in stone. I think those are going to be my Monday night predictions. Kyle Larson and Tanner Carrick, but I mean the other way. It'll be Tanner Carrick winning, I think. Kyle Larson getting second. I think it'll be more of a tough night for Kyle Larson. Finally getting back into that Chili Bowl rhythm, having the Monday night instead of, I think last year he had the Thursday or Friday night. I don't exactly remember, but I think it'll definitely be a tougher night for him. Getting back into the rhythm, but I think by Saturday, he'll be back in that rhythm pretty easy. I think we'll see him up front in the A. So moving on to Tuesday night, it doesn't feature a former Chili Bowl champion, which is very interesting, but it does feature the likes of Buddy Kofoid, Hank Davis, Jonathan Beeson, Zach Daum. But man, I think Buddy Kofoid's going to win. I think he's my first lock-in. For my second one, it's got to be Hank Davis. Hank Davis has been very strong these past few years. It's very interesting, because I definitely can see them flip-flopping and winning. I could also see somebody like Zach Daum going up and getting second and getting that lock-in. It's kind of interesting, but I'm going to go with Buddy winning. Buddy seems very strong in the midget. We saw in that California West Coast sweep, he was really close. You know, he was close to Larson that one night he won. And then Hank Davis has always been strong at the Chili Bowl. I feel like these past couple of years, he's always been strong. The one year, I believe he started up on the front row, second, I believe. And then last year, he did pretty well too. So yeah, those are my Tuesday night predictions. Buddy Kofoid and Hank Davis. I think those are pretty good lock-ins. So for Wednesday night is the toughest night. It's always been the toughest night. And then I had to get there as well. That's the first time I'll be vlogging, so it's just pretty sweet. So I always love getting there Wednesday night. I always love there getting a little bit early and kind of being able to watch the whole race. We're 2 hours away here in Eldon, so it's kind of tough to get there on time, but I always love seeing Wednesday night. Wednesday night's always been fun. Corey Day, Sammy, JJ Yeley, Jacob Jr., Alex Bright, Dason Pursley, Emerson Axon, Mitchell Moles, Cale Drake, Steven Snyder Jr., Blake Hahn, Jake Swanson, Jason McDoodle, Tim Buckwalter, Kyle Cummins, Jake Newman, Brandon Whitey, Steve Buckwalter, Colton Cottle. It's a tough night. It's a really hard night, and the prediction's kind of tough. I think I'm going to go with Dason Pursley winning. And here's my reason why. Dason Pursley is very strong in the midget. And a couple of years ago, he went from like, he was back in the 20s, I think, up to like 5th or 4th. That was a very impressive run in the A main. He's really good in the midget stuff, good in the micro stuff. I think he'll win Wednesday night. And I think my second's got to go with Corey Day. Corey Day has always been, you know, it depends on the track too. If it's up on the top, I can see Corey Day winning and maybe somebody else coming in. You know, like a Jake Swanson or I don't know if Kyle Cummins. Kyle Cummins is another one that's very strong. But my prediction is going to be Pursley winning. I think I got to go Corey Day second. Those are my two lock-ins for that night. Thursday night's a big story. Christopher Bell is going to be in there, but I think it will be a similar story to Larson, as he's got to get in his rhythm. But I feel like he might be in his rhythm from winning the shootout. Another thing is Tanner Thorson's in that night. Of course, won Chili Bowl back in 2022. I think it'll be a very interesting night. Another thing is Spencer Vason's there. He won last year. I think it'll be Seabell winning. I think Christopher will win that night. And I'm gonna go with Spencer Basin over. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Spencer Basin over Tanner Thorson. I think it'll be Christopher Bell and Spencer Basin locking in to Saturday night. But on the Friday night, I think we all know who's gonna win Friday night. But I have an interesting pick on who's gonna be second. And I think it'll be the same lock-in. I think Friday night will be, of course, I think Logan Seavey's gonna win. I don't think anybody I don't know if you can stop that 39 car. I don't know if you can stop that 39 Swindle Speed Lab car, to be honest. But my second lock-in's interesting because there's many people on this night. I mean, of course, there's, you know, Logan, but there's also Justin Grant, Tyler Courtney, Darren Pittman, Andrew Felker. But my guy to be second in the lock-in, was the guy who was leading last year, Ryan Timms. Ryan Timms is very strong. I think it'll be Logan Seavey winning that night. I think the battle for second will be the main focus of this night. I think Seavey might be able to get out front. It depends on, because last year on Friday, he started like 8th or farther back. A little bit tougher of a prelim night. Wasn't high point man by any chance, but he worked his way through the field and was able to pass those guys. It was able to get to the front and win, and then went on and win the Chili Bowl. I think if he can do that again, he'll definitely have the similar story. But I think our focus will shift to the second place battle. I think it'll be Ryan Timms and Justin Grant battling for that second spot, and I think that will be the battle of the night. Friday night's looking good too. I don't think there's a boring night during these prelim nights at all. I mean, if there's a boring night, I don't even know what night you can pick. There's so many names for each one. I mean, you can say, you know, Tuesday because there's not a winner. So my pick for the Chili Bowl winner, I think my pick is pretty obvious. It's the guy who's, you probably can't see it, but he's up there twice, winning the first driller that he ever won 2 years ago. I think he's going to win it again 3 times in a row. My pick for this year is Logan Seavey. I don't think anybody can stop that Swindle Speed Lab Victor Fuel. I don't know any other sponsors on the card, but the 39. I don't think anybody can beat that car. The setup on the car. I mean, Kevin Swindell has that thing on rails every single night. I don't think you can beat it. I saw last year that, I mean, Saturday night, yeah, it was more of a boring race. The track kind of got a little sucky at the end. But I don't compare as much Saturday night of the talent. I compare to Friday night. Friday night was one of the most exciting races I've ever seen in my entire life. The last Stampede was pretty cool to be there in person, but it was all on top. It was very on the rails. You had to be there. That's why Ryan Timms was so good. I think he's going to lock in again. If that track is like that again, I think it will be those two up front because it was such a spectacular race. You know, the passes, the slide jobs, getting up on the berm and having to slide all the way across the track. It was a very fun track, and I think if we can get that again, it would be very cool. I sit in 3 and 4 as well, so I get to see all the slide jobs. It was pretty cool. But yeah, that's my pick for the 39th Annual Chili Bowl. I'll be there Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and of course Saturday. vlogging all 4 nights. I don't know if I'm going to take the big camera. I might just be vlogging on this thing or the small camera like last year, but I don't really know. I got a couple guys that can film for me this year. You'll be able to see that on probably Wednesday. I mean, for y'all it'll be a little later, but might be Thursday or something. But yeah, thank y'all for tuning in. That's my predictions for this year's Chili Bowl, the whole rundown. I'm super excited to be there. I hope y'all are excited to either be there or watch from home. If you aren't watching the Chili Bowl already or don't have a Flow subscription, this is not an ad. I'm just saying go and watch it. It'll be awesome. I don't have a Flow ad, sadly. But yeah, go and watch it. It'll be awesome. And yeah, I'll see y'all later. Peace.